Good evening. Yes, thank you. Good evening, everyone, and a very special and hearty warm welcome to you all. It is such an honor and a privilege to stand before you today. I am your host for this wonderful award ceremony. I am Lerato Ditsejo. Now, just a little bit about me, because I am a whole lot of woman, but I will share just 2% for the purposes of time. I come from a lineage of people who are nestled in the heart of the Limpopo province. I am both Venda speaking as well as Sepedi speaking. And so on that note, Ndumadekwana, Dumelang. Good evening, everyone. And thank you for that applause. All right, once again, welcome to the Prize Giving Awards ceremony. Today is a very, very special day. This evening in particular is going to be exceptionally special. Now, in the spirit of democratizing cyber infrastructure for sustainable development, I'm here to just really recognize and acknowledge those young people that put their hand up and said, yes, I can be counted to be a part of this narrative of democratization of that cyber infrastructure. So we have a lot of young people who are going to be acknowledged tonight, who are going to be celebrated tonight for all of their hard work, their passion, their energy that was injected throughout the period across all of the different challenges. So I'm going to challenge them right now. I see they are here somewhere way up there. Guys, once I read out the particular challenge that you were part of, just give me a whoop whoop. And if they, all right, so we are celebrating those who took part in the poster challenge. Can I get a whoop whoop? Are we winning? Can I get a whoop whoop? Yes. And then for the Dirisa Datathon challenge? Yes! Woo! Those guys are winning. All right, can I get the Sunrand Cyber Security Challenge? Yes! And then the CHPC Student Cluster. Yes! Woo, woo, woo. That's right, that's right. All right, guys, just wanted to touch and feel your energy, know where you are across the room. All right, so as I said, we are celebrating and acknowledging you. Thank you, firstly, for deciding to put your best foot forward. Thank you for being part of something that is going to change the next generation. Thank you for choosing to be brave, and thank you for daring greatly. It's that very attitude that actually is the makings of greatness. So you're well on your way. Okay, talking about greatness and talking about great people, I'm now going to invite Dr. Happy Sithole, who is the Executive Director of Nikki's, to come and give us the warm welcome. I hope it's warmer than my welcome, but it's a warm welcome nonetheless.
Okay, I think the program director has done a good job to wake you up after the long 2 days. So mine is just to get straight to the point. Welcome to this session. And first of all, it's just to touch base on the background of what we are doing here of the competitions. And just for the sake of those who are not at the opening session, I will go back again, touch back on the reason why we're doing this. So our theme says democratization of cyber infrastructure for sustainable development. So democratization here, what we're doing with these competitions is to make sure that we include people who are not otherwise part of the cyber infrastructure. And that is why we're training young people, because at the moment, the challenge worldwide is that when we look in this field, we see aging workforce that is about to exit, people like myself, you know? So, and if we are not going to do what we are doing now, we're not going to be sustainable. So that is the whole thing. And that's what this talks to, the importance of these competitions. And we thought about this is, are we going to go and force universities to change their curriculum so that this can be included? Whilst the universities are coming with the curriculum to try and catch up and make sure that teaching of HPC, cybersecurity become pervasive in our institutions, we have to do something in the meantime. And doing something, let's do it in a fun way where kids compete. And this is the whole initiative. We have been doing this since 2012. And that's the first time when we started with the Student Cluster Challenge. And with that, we had lots of students coming in. Just to give you in terms of numbers, and I know David McLeod, who started taking down each and every detail of the students who come from this. The first round, we go around the country. People come, some of them, they have never seen a computer before, but they come there, they want to learn how to build high-performance computing systems. So that's where it starts. And you get like, all in all, you get 20 teams. So 20 teams of 4, that gives you what? Quick calculation. So those are the number of students that you get for the first round of the competition. And after that, we scale it down to 10 teams of 4, 40. So 80, then you go down to 40 every year. And out of that, we still take competitions. In all these phases, there's training. And I tell you, these are people who did not see a computer, let alone an HPC system. From there, they couldn't spell Linux, and they come out from there. And at the end, through this process, they go compete. And I think the statistics talks well, that the process has been working well, because internationally, we have demonstrated that we can be true competitors. So that is that sustainability. Again, we have been following on, where do these kids go? Most of them, I still have to see one who's not employed, and they are employed in good places. Some of them, there are mentors here. So there's continuity. They come back and train the others. So we are a very good society as South Africans. We don't just want to, if we got the knowledge, then we sit home. So they come here, we don't pay them, and then they have volunteers to help the others who comes in. So that is the whole spirit. And with cybersecurity, again, that's Renier, almost 6 years now, correct? 6 years, we have been doing the cybersecurity. Again, the challenge in this case, if we look at this, is that now during the pandemic, you have seen, because of new working environment, that things changed. Many industries, not just in South Africa, they got exposed because we had new working environment. It means that we can never invest on the cybersecurity and security of our cyber infrastructure. So it's a very important tool. Again, this is not something that you are going to sit in class and learn. And people like Renier started this, and is to bring the students, give them challenges, and let them practice and go and hunt, attack systems, defend, and in what you call the ethical hacking. And this is what we see now again. Again, 10 teams that we get. There's a round of selection. So through that, kids are getting trained. So you can see this thing multiplying. From 2013, if you are talking about 80 students being trained on HPC up to this stage, those who get international exposure look at the talent that comes out. Similarly, with the cybersecurity, it's been 6 years. You get those teams, and again, they have been also exposed to international challenge. You know, the important thing about international challenge is that it keeps you to bring your A game. If we're just doing this and just looking at it, that we are only looking at ourselves here, then we'll never push that A game. I still recall with soccer, you know, and by that time, because South Africa was not exposed to the international world. And I thought the talent that we had, you know, in the 70s, in the 80s, I used to tell people that we have got the best. And immediately when we go into playing with the rest of the world, we'll be the best, because we are living under a rock and thinking that we are the best. So it is important to get that international exposure. Gauge yourself with the international community so that you can get your A game. So even with the cybersecurity, that's what we're doing. And we have seen that our kids can stand there with the rest of the world. We have 4 years ago, and Dr. Shozi, 4 years ago, started the data-thon. The data-thon, again, we can see that with data, if you can't be able to interpret data or manipulate data, then you've got a serious problem. Again, we saw during the pandemic, at least our grandmothers started to appreciate the data. They started to see trends, you know, because every day you wake up, you look at the TV, where is it going, you know? So that is the whole thing about the data. So data is fashionable, but it's all about, like people say, this is the new oil. And if you can't be able to handle the new oil, you are gone. So we have to invest on making sure that we have got a cohort of technicians or experts in the country who can be able to handle the data. In the opening again, and after talking to these kids moving around, I looked at the sort of challenges that they wanted to solve. And program director, we are not there. They want to solve crime. They want to solve load shedding, getting data, solving those things. They want to solve cyberbullying, you know. They want to solve gender-based violence. When I look at all these things, all the time, when our president speaks, those are the issues that he's worried about. And surely, if we can be able to solve this, then we will have a better country to live in. And these kids really, they chose good challenges, and I'm really looking forward to say about this. But again, having all this dream, if you don't have the resources to take it with you, you have got a challenge. And the sponsors are very important here. And when the announcements are made, you will hear about the different sponsors that put that price tag to keep propelling these students to do better. So the sponsors for tonight, we really want to thank you for making this possible. When I looked at the prices, you know, I went back to the pants that I was wearing at high school and see if they can still fit. Because I thought maybe if I come with my old school uniform, I will be allowed, you know, to compete, because really these are very good prices that you give to the student. And that is no surprise that they're working so hard, making sure that they can really be able to get there. So thank you very much for coming to the party. And I would say these are not little efforts that have been put here. It's a lot of money that you guys put, and we really appreciate it. Now you have got all this mix. Somebody has to make a decision on who has done better. And that's why you don't want to find yourself poor judges. That's difficult. going through this. I know I have been invited, by the way, to be in the judges. And then I gave some excuses that I'm involved in a number of parallel sessions. I could have made some time, but it's about the task. It's a very difficult task. So I know what we are going through. And I know that you really have a lot of debates about this. I met the judges for the student cluster challenge. I don't know what they were talking about, but when they came out of this room, it's well air conditioned, but I saw them all sweating in the at the foyer, and they were sweating, and even they were looking at one and saying, yeah, we nearly like, I mean, like, why was he in there? So, but at the end of the day, they came up with a product. So it means that it was really very intense debates in coming to this decision. So with that, colleagues, I just want to move out of here because I'm standing in between the kids and their prices. So let me go out and then go and sit down and leave this to you, Program Director. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Stolle. It is indeed a legacy project that you've embarked on, one that we greatly admire from the public's point of view. And I want to echo your sentiment in saying that indeed they were sweating. So I took the liberty yesterday of walking around just to get a sense of their energy. What is it that they're feeling at the moment? And words like optimistic came up. Some said tired, others said depressed. And one person said happy. But I can tell you this much, all of them echoed this one particular sentiment collectively, those who I spoke to rather. They all said time. Time is our biggest enemy right now. They were racing against time. And I thought that was a brilliant lesson to put them in a position where they can value and appreciate minutes and seconds, because those mean opportunity. And so to be thrust in a position where you can appreciate what a minute and a second can do for your life, that is when you start to just really, spur on the formula for greatness. Okay, so without further ado, as we begin, I know indeed I also don't want to stand before their win. And so I'm going to call on Dr. Anton Lopez, who is the Senior Research Scientist of the Center for High Performance Computing. And he'll be announcing the winners of the poster challenge. Just as he is coming up, I'll just give a high-level synopsis of the competition. He's welcome to double-click on that. So this particular competition was open to MSc as well as PhD students and comprised of a poster competition and an online microtalk presentation. This was a research-based competition focused on high-performance computing and application. There are 6 prizes up for grabs tonight, and those prizes have been sponsored by Gaussian Inc. 3 of those will go to the top performing students in the MSc category. The other 3 will go to the top performing students for those who are in the PhD section.
You might see me walking around with tape on my arm. Does anyone need some tape for their poster? It's still quite a bit left. There you go. Thank you. So, but this is all about the students and the amazing students. And where would we be without the students in our research? Okay, so I'm going to give a bit of a summary of our competition, various details here. And okay, so we're judging both posters and microtalks as mentioned. And in terms of numbers, we had 60 presentations, 37 posters and 23 microtalks, and basically an even number of masters and PhD students. And then 3/4 of our presentations were either material science or chemistry. and you can see the breakdown of the others. Okay, so we are judging the competition in terms of masters and doctoral students. The posters and the market talks are combined in the competition. So a poster will be competing against the market talk. Listen to me. Okay, so and where would where would the students be getting their wonderful prizes from without our sponsor, which is Gauss Incorporated, and via Amy? Okay, so and we've had this is about our panel of judges, and my partner in crime is Benjamin, and without him and without especially Quinn and Andrew, who are our head judges, we would have really struggled with everything. So I appreciate all of your help from everyone, including the rest of our judges. And you can see each of their affiliations. So what criteria were we using to judge the posters? Well, we were looking at the modeling or methodology, how well things are actually were, the calculations or simulations have been performed, how well the methods were implemented, HPC appropriateness, scientific analysis, insight, how much understanding is there of the research done, and then presentation. And so they were marked out of 10 in this ratio. If this will listen to me. Okay. So we're now getting to I'm going to call up yeah. Brain is gone. I'm going to start with the prizes now. Okay. Sure, but my nerves. Okay, sorry. Oh. Thank you very much. Yeah, Mervyn is our new director CHPC, and we've got the prizes. So should we hand them out one at a time? So yes, going to announce first. So the third prize for masters will be Tlamini Inkos Sikana. Thank you. So in second place at master's level, we have Vida Shumani. So maybe this is also a market talk video, so we'll have to keep the prices. Also, market talk video is for the first place at Masters level is Joe Ferrer. Okay, now we're going on to the PhD, the doctoral winners, and I know that the first winner is here. Oh, this is so we have Christine McConto. Sorry, what thought did? All right, for the second prize at the PhD presentation is Sakina Hussain. Okay, and then for our first prize, I think this also might be a micro talk. It is for, this will work, otherwise maybe we just cancel it. No? Okay. Yathesh Raghu. Okay, and thank you to all of our sponsors, as I mentioned, Gaussian for the competition. Thank you all for your attention.
Thank you so much, and congratulations to all the winners. Ladies and gentlemen, at this moment, I'd like for you to turn your attention to the screen. We're going to be sharing a small video which showcases the journey of those who were part of the Datathon Challenge.
been running for almost a decade, and the ACE Lab and the HPC teams that have gone to compete at ISC have an exceptional record and pedigree, with a number of golds, silvers, and one bronze.
So this is actually our sixth competition, so it originally started in 2017. And I think it really sort of started from looking at the other competitions happening and taking place even today still. If we look at the student cluster competition and how successful they were participating at international competitions, we realized the need for a cybersecurity competition as well. It's a very important field. Now, 6 years in, we have a very stable competition, and we're also looking to sending teams and participants to international competitions as well.
The Derisa Student Datathon Challenge was started in 2019, and this was done because we realized that there was a gap whereby universities are not offering data science skills, and we wanted to bridge that gap by being able to provide an environment in which the students can come in and learn data science skills.
The reason why the competition was introduced is that HPC isn't really taught at universities or high schools or any sort of institutions. And as a national facility, which was at one stage within the top 500 across the world, the fastest supercomputer in the Southern Hemisphere and the fastest supercomputer on the continent, there was a need to actually give our academics, our students, and the upcoming set of researchers the skills necessary to perform the research on the facility.
Opportunities for the students that participate in the Datathon is firstly, they get to work in teams, so they get to learn about collaborating and working together. And I think that is a very important skill for when they go out into industry and they start with their jobs.
I think probably the biggest incentive is this opportunity to meet other students, to meet sponsors, people working in this environment, to engage with them, to see what is it going to be when you get out here in the field of cybersecurity.
The team that wins the overall competition, they'll get to go to Texas, Austin, and spend time at Dell, and also the Texas Advanced Computer Center. This team will also be taken to Germany in Hamburg and participates at ISC 23 against international competition. So there's tremendous incentive for students to do well and demonstrate their capabilities in this competition.
So we were very fortunate that our school was invited to this convention today. I think we got involved at the right time, since our school is in a process of transformation into a school of specialization in engineering. So I think this is a very good time for us to be here so that our learners will be exposed to what is happening in the real world of science.
Giving this kind of exposure to high school students to show that there's so much in the field, not only of cybersecurity, but data science and high-performance computing, that they can get and gain these exposure, and that we can get these smart minds to contribute back to our country.
Well, the competition is a feeder program into those scarce STEM skills, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We ideally train undergraduate students, and we give them the skills necessary to go into industry and research within HPC.
I see the cybersecurity challenge becoming the sort of household name for a cybersecurity competition, not only within South Africa, but the Southern African continent as well. We want, when we go to universities, students must be talking about this competition.
In future, I see more of our learners coming and taking part in this initiative. What I look forward to see is that we might have more time or a day set aside for more schools and more learners to come and join this initiative.
What I enjoy most about the student cluster competition is seeing students suffer and cry. No, I'm just kidding. What I enjoy most is actually seeing the students have that camaraderie. I mean, the students are working hard, they're up all night, but you see them supporting and encouraging each other, which is great to see.
Yeah, I think it was a wonderful competition. It was wonderful to be back in person. You know, being virtual, it's difficult. You know, you need that human interaction.
I feel honored to have been part of the Research Database Challenge, to have interacted with the various students coming from different universities around South Africa, and also interacting with them, learning from them, and yeah, just being able to impart my skills and knowledge to them.
Children look very interested, and they are talking to other learners from other schools and people that they are seeing who have walked the journey.
So the Datathon Challenge is a competition that is targeted towards students, university and high schoolers, where they come in and they are able to learn and apply their data science skills. And yeah, they're able to work with different data sets and use them to identify and also solve societal problems in South Africa.
Events like this is data for assist students to combine the modules that they're learning and apply it in a real life scenario.
We thought, well, what underlying problems are there, and what problems can we fix that kind of go beyond the scope that we normally go for? And as we were starting to talk about different ideas, we came across this whole fake news dilemma. And as we talked about it more, it started to become a very comfortable idea.
We are solving cyberbullying. The internet is growing so rapidly, and cyberbullying is getting worse by the day. So with our team, we are trying to lessen the cases of suicide, to lessen the cases of mental health issues and low self-esteem. The problem that we have is focusing on crime, and our solution is developing a mobile application that is going to look at the area of where the person is and tell them and send them an alert and tell them that they are in a high crime area. And after telling them that, it will then tell them what type of crime they are prone to get themselves into.
Initially, we had first month where we just looked at the documents that we were given, and later on we worked on a project which was about cyberbullying. So basically we worked on that as a team so we could learn to work together, learn our strengths and weaknesses before we could come for the actual competition.
Future Datathon participants can expect to work with people that they've never met before. So that's quite cool and exciting and stressful at times. And also practice data collection techniques, because you need to find data that you need to use, whereas you don't do that in school. Yeah, they sort of give you data and you have to do problem and solve it. So practice collecting data, relevant data.
Some skills that I've learned is the ability to collaborate, because in our team we have like different people. There are people from the ICT sector and the others are from the data science faculty. So the ability to collaborate, and teachers need to say that in future, should I end up in industry, I'm capable of communicating with my colleagues from the ICT sector.
I think it's important to use social media because we're able to get the data in real time. And unlike back in the days where you have to go house to house to try and collect data, I feel like social media it's making life much easier in a way for us to collect the data and use it in real time.
social media as solving like real world problems. When we had COVID, social media was the one platform that we could turn to disperse information.
I would say it's important because it changes the narrative of women in STEM and also enables women to get to know about the opportunities that are involved in the tech world. Females are strong people, they just need to be pushed. So I feel like if we participate, it would increase the interest of females in the information technology and computer science fields.
I feel the Datathon would offer me a nice new learning experience, and it's also a great opportunity to network and see what data-intensive researchers are actually doing in the industry, rather than just having this theoretical base that we learn at college.
And my expectation is obviously would be getting the proper connections so that I stand a better chance of getting a job by the time I graduate.
By adding value to my resume and creating more opportunities for me. Everyone knows that CSIR is a very big company, so playing a role in CSIR can make me being the most wanted in the industry.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Very inspiring as well. In fact, when I was watching that, I was reminded of a principle that was coined by Leonardo da Vinci, and it's called dimostrazione. And that principle basically is about a sense of worthiness. It's about grit. It's about having the willingness to learn and test your knowledge through real world experiences. And it's about that willingness to fail over and over again as you seek out your best. And so watching that, I think that was just the term dimostrazione come alive. So thank you so much for that video. What a beautiful, beautiful demonstration of tenacity and energy. All right, so I'm now going to invite Dr. Nobubele Shozi, who is the Data Stewardship Manager for DIRISA, and she will be announcing the winners of this particular Datathon challenge. Please give her a round of applause.
How do I? Guys, you're going through the slides now. Okay. Okay, good day, everyone. My name is Nobubele Shozi. I didn't get, okay. Yes, so that's my name, and I work at DIRISA as a data stewardship manager. So you'll forgive, like this title is new. I just got this title last month, so I will use it and abuse it. Until I get used to it, I will keep on using it. Okay, so I think the video has provided a good overview of what the DIRISA Student Datathon Challenge is trying to achieve. So just to add on to it, I guess, the DIRISA Datathon Challenge started in 2019 with the aim of creating an environment in which students could come in, be it university or high school students, could come in and they could learn and apply data science skills. So during the year, we offer training to the students where we just introduce them to data science. And we also get a high school involved who start off with Python training, and then they also form part of the challenge. So then in the datathon, we want students to use open data sets to create solutions that try to solve some of South Africa's societal problems. And in this year's datathon, we also added a new component which focused on research. So we wanted some of the students to participate in the whole research process and in the end produce an abstract and a poster which was also judged as part of the competition. Okay, so I would first like to start off by thanking the Datathon sponsors. So first we have Code Ngwana, who sponsored some of our prizes. We have Kobicom Education Trust, who also sponsored some prizes. And finally, we have Eclipse Holding. So in terms of the teams that participated, we had 10 teams. We had Northwest University, and their team name was Eagles. We had University of Johannesburg, and they call themselves Recursive Redemption. University of Zululand, Unbounded, Sefako Mahato, Cyberclips. So Sefako Mahato is participating for the first time in the Datathon. We had Soulblike University, Datatude, Tswana University of Technology, Alpha Logic, University of Limpopo, Tech Tycoon, University of KwaZulu-Natal, Tech World, Vaal University of Technology, CCOM, and finally, our high school team from Atteridgeville, Soul Ridge Secondary School, who call themselves the Mighty Rich. Okay, so we will start off then with our first category, which is focused on the research poster. So in this category, we had a research mentor who met up with the research participants every day. And then today we had the judging panel. So I would like to thank Ms. Lindelwe Izizwe Manqele, who was our research mentor, along with Dr. Nicolene Bota, Mr. Senzo Dlamini, and Mr. Tiani Chauke. Then the best research poster, we have the prizes as tablets, as headphones, and as a wireless charger. And these prizes were sponsored by Code Ngwana and Eclipse. So I'm not sure if an Eclipse representative is here. Otherwise, Code Ngwana, Eclipse, okay. Okay. So for the poster, the judges evaluated the abstract, what problem the poster is trying to solve, the research methods used, the methodology that was discussed, the results, the societal impact it has, and then the overall look of the poster. So the winner of the best research poster is University of Johannesburg Recursive Redemption. Okay, so what I failed to mention, the research component, since it was new, we decided to keep it virtual. So Ms. Husna Mulvey and Mr. Kyle Boyd are probably watching online. So maybe I'll ask Professor Dustin to accept on their behalf. Okay, moving on. We also awarded a most consistent student. So this was a student that we felt throughout the week, was performing well, was working well with their team members. Whenever we came around was the student, who would answer the questions, be able to explain things, but also we found them walking around and assisting other teams as well. So the most consistent student winner is sorry. Miss Figela Mota of TUT, Team Name Alpha. Okay, up next is best team. So the best team criteria was a team that worked well throughout the competition. Even if they faced challenges, be it technically or otherwise, they were able to pull themselves up, and still maintain the team structure. Even during the presentation, they acknowledged each other's presence. They helped each other if one member was nervous. They had good transitions throughout the presentation and basically supported each other and worked well towards solving their problem or delivered on the solution that they were supposed to deliver on. And the best team is Soul Ridge Secondary School. Okay, now moving on to the technical side of the Datathon, we had technical mentors and judges who assisted us. So the technical mentors were there to just assist the students if there's any technical data science related issues that they needed help with. And then we had the judging panel. So I would like to acknowledge the technical mentors, Mr. Kitro Sitole, Mr. Ngobile Mulea, Dr. Nicolene Botha, and Ms. Tombo Rambuda. And then the judges, Ms. Noluvuyo Kadu, who is the founder of Code Ngwana and also one of our sponsors, Mr. Velinkosi, Mr. Luntu Kuntana, and Dr. J. Lofsted. In terms of what we were judging on, so the judges were looking at the problem that the students were trying to solve, how best and how relevant was the data that they used, the data process and methodology that they used in terms of starting from the problem statements, gathering the data, cleaning it, analyzing it, and finally using all that data and information towards proposing and creating a solution. So when I call up the winners, I will just ask them also to just tell you briefly what their solution was about. They also looked at how innovative and creative the solution was, the impact that it could have on South African society, and also how well it aligned to our theme of social media data. So then the third place winners is Sol Plaatje University Data. So the team is it's made up of Miss Eva Mababolo, Mr. Freddie Manyate, Mr. Stephen Machida, Mr. Lutando Mleche, and Miss Faith Mochabi. Okay, second place winners, I'd like to call up Ms. Noluvuyo Qadu to assist with the handing over of the prizes. Okay. So the second place winners are the Eagles, Northwest University. So the team is made up of their mentor, Ms. Susan Kemper, Mr. Justin Sadie, Mr. Merve van der Vijver, two surnames, sounds like two surnames, Ms. Charmaine Lebelo, and Mr. Gary Groenewald. And then finally, first place. Don't go away, please. Okay, then first place is UJ, Recursive Redemption. And I'll take some time, but I'll be alright. We're moving on. We're moving on. I know times are tough, but I've had enough. We're moving on. We're moving on.
used to. Sometimes we're not ourselves. There's no one I can turn to.
But wait, there's more. There's one more. So we have our sponsor, Kobicom Education Trust, that I'd just like to call up to hand over the final prize. Okay, so we have two bursaries that are focused on women empowerment. I think we are big on that drive in getting more females, women into the space, and Kobicom Education Trust is also a huge supporter of that. So the first women empowerment bursary winner is bursary covers tuition, accommodation, and also provides some pocket money. So if you choose STEM technology, but so yeah, the criteria for this one was a high school student who is doing science, maths, and yeah, plans to study towards something in computer science or IT. And the second bursary winner is Miss Kanye. That is it for the Teresa Datathon. And yeah, just finally to again thank our sponsors, Code Ngwana, Eclipse Holding, Kobicom Education Trust. This wouldn't have been possible without you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shozi. Wow, wow, and wow. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful. They had me at the most consistent award. I've been consistent all my life. I am yet to touch recognition. And so I love it. I also love it because, you know, slow and steady always wins. Consistency is key, and it becomes the master of your fate at some point in your life. Now, please, before I forget, there was a young man I sat next to yesterday when I walked in here like the stranger that I was. And he's from Soul Ridge. Where is he? There he is, my charm. You see my charm rubbed off. Best. All right, I'd like for you to turn your eyes to the screen, please, as we showcase the Sunren Cyber Security Challenge.
Cybersecurity Challenge is a competition for tertiary students from South Africa, but also Southern African universities. And it's really there to give students exposure to cybersecurity, focusing on ethical hacking, social engineering, digital forensics, penetration testing, giving them exposure to all the various different aspects of cybersecurity.
My interest in the cybersecurity industry stems from the fact that cyber is not just confined to the tech space, but rather transcends different industries, whether it be the medical industry or the auto industry. Cyber somehow affects those industries.
In the past 2 years, almost 90% of the world's data has been generated. And because of that, companies are losing 10 billion rands worth of data each day, each year. And it is our job and it's our duty to ensure that this does not happen at a larger scale.
The purpose of this challenge is to promote cybersecurity awareness amongst the students by teaching them interactive ways of getting the knowledge required to protect themselves, and also test penetration testing and learn how the industry works in promoting and incorporating cybersecurity awareness.
The purpose of this challenge is to help a lot of students to market themselves for internships and then to learn a lot of things in order to defend companies from attackers, and to get experience.
The purpose of this challenge is to get people interested in the cybersecurity industry. It brings people together to get involved, practice, learn about cybersecurity. And it's also a great opportunity to meet people in the industry, get to know everyone.
Is to create awareness of the risks of cybersecurity, to promote learning and inspire other learners to learn about cyber as well.
Helps you with your problem-solving skills, and I think it also exposes you to working with the team.
Learning, so you get to learn through exposure, identifying new attacks, and you also get to network with your fellow mates and people who are already in the industry.
The experience has been very amazing because I'm being exposed to the world, the actual cybersecurity industry. So I'm learning a lot more and thinking outside the box and thinking deep about my career and what exactly my passion is about. So I'm exploring more about cybersecurity.
Well, from my experience, I'd like to acquire some more digital forensic skills. For example, when you assessing how hackers have penetrated your system, you'd like to see the digital footprint as well.
The type of challenges we have to do for the Sunland consist of 3 main sections. The CTF challenges, which are focusing on crypto forensics, reverse engineering, and mobile security. The second section is the attack and defend, and the last section are the bonus challenges.
Strategy is that, well, our team has very different skill sets. So I'm, for example, very good at stenography, whereas Car is very good at hacking Androids, and Alex is very good at Node and JavaScript. So we decided to split the challenge based on who's good at what, and we'll help each other where we can.
My team strategy is that we have 4 people on the team, and we intend to take advantage of that. So we're going to use correct fashion, divide and conquer, and for the harder challenges, we're going to work in pairs.
So I think our strengths as a team kind of lies in the fact that we're very passionate and hardworking and very willing to learn. And a lot of us have experience with pen testing, which just helps a lot, and we know JavaScript, which is just a very big help.
My team strengths, we have a critical thinker. Probably all of us are critical thinkers, and we also have some coding skills, search and filtering and finding what we are looking for on the internet.
I believe the skills needed for cybersecurity are programming and IT skills, but also a willingness to learn as the cybersecurity environment is continually changing.
The first skill that is required is critical thinking. And the second one is being, analytical. And the third one would be coding skills. So you actually need coding skills.
I'd like to learn more about reverse engineering and looking more into binary executables, and also a little bit about server-based hacking and exploiting APIs.
The
technical skills that I would like to acquire would be in terms of reverse engineering, encryption, maybe breaking into a condition you don't have access to.
From this challenge, I hope to develop skills which will help improve me in penetration testing and intrusion detection, as well as just to get an overall feel for what happens in cybersecurity.
Ladies and gentlemen, help me in welcoming Dr. Renier van Heerden. He is the Science Engagement Officer for SANRAN, and he will be announcing all the winners. Just before he makes his way, I just want to give a high-level synopsis of the actual competition. So I believe that it was targeted at university students who are interested in information security. And the main purpose of the challenge is to stimulate their interest in cybersecurity in general, but also more specifically in the field of network security. And so through this competition, the students were exposed to so many different trends as it relates to cybersecurity. Now, due to a high level or due to high interest in this particular competition, it was then opened to other neighboring countries like Lesotho and Malawi. But I'm sure he'll get into all of that together with the prizes that are up for grabs.
Good evening, everybody. So finally, the highlight for the teams, the prize ceremony. This year it was tough. You could see them struggling. You could see the sweat coming off them. So we achieved our goal. So the 10 teams you see here are not only actually the best teams from the 10 best universities, probably from the 15 different universities that participated in the qualification rounds. And you will also see that we separate the engineering and the computer science. We consider them actually as two separate entities also. That's why they're separate. So, well, let's start. Okay, if I can get the right button. Okay, there we go. So this is just, I think the video was much better than, but this is just a few slides to show what it would look like, of the students competing and some of the teams and sponsors. Go back. Okay, so these were the 10 teams. The video introduced them, but I'm quickly going to name them again. Akai from Northwest University, Cash Money from University of Pretoria, the Computer Science Group, Cyber Codex, Boto University from Lesotho, and this is the first time a Lesotho university in Lesotho competed at the Cybersecurity Challenge, and they made the finals. Diamond Slayers from University of Witwatersrand, Computer Science. The Cyphers, Rhodes University. Hack Elite, Tshwane University of Technology. Havana 4, University of the Western Cape. Piranhas, University of Cape Town Engineering. The A-Team, Durban University of Technology. I think it might also be the first time they competed and they made the finals. And the WAC Hack University, Malawi University Science of Technology, also the first time they competed and they made the finals. So first, I will do an appreciation award. Unfortunately, Mr. Peach can't be here today. He actually resigned from the CSIR and is now living in Australia. But for the first 5 years of the competition, he was an essential part. Late night codings, especially the night before the challenge. The scoring system that we use today was coded by him many, many nights just before the challenge and the morning of the challenges. The way he interacted with the other students and encouraged them and led them astray. We really miss him, and we felt we needed to award him for his 5 years contribution. So let's start. And do we have anybody here from the Information Security Center? Please come and join us for helping handing out the medals and the prizes. So the Exploit Droid Challenge. Okay, I'm just going to wait. Okay, so let's announce the winners. The Ciphers from Rhodes University. Please come down. Mentor also, come down. This challenge was actually developed by a sister unit in the CSIR, the Information Security Cyber Center, right next to us in Building 44. And I really appreciate the way that even within the CSIR, that are known for the silos, we could basically break out and work together as a group. So the next challenge was the API channels. Can I please be joined by Mr. Orby Labuskaghni from Orange Cyber Defense? Okay, so this might have been even the most difficult challenge because it's based maybe on real world examples and what I experienced in the industry. And the winner is cash money from University of Pretoria Computer Science. Do we have the mentor here? Or did you leave us? The next challenge was a social engineering challenge. This we consider a very important aspect in cybersecurity. It's basically, so somebody calls it, don't hack the computer, don't hack the network, hack the human. And unfortunately, that's probably the most easy way to exploit the system. So we're really glad we could have a sponsor for this. Unfortunately, the sponsor couldn't be with us, before. And the winner for the social engineering challenge is Piranha's University of Cape Town Engineering Department. Please the mentor also. The mentor also. Okay, now the attack defend challenge. Okay, now this challenge was actually sponsored by ourselves, so we congratulate ourselves. This is the most fun challenge. This is where the students have to protect the server, or the service is running, and then after 2 hours, they are allowed to attack the other team's servers while trying to protecting their own server. And remember, this is done at the end of the challenge. So they have been working 3 days straight, some of them even through the night, and now they have to do something like this. So we really find that quite interesting when this happens. So the winner of the Attack and Defend Challenge is cash money from the University of Pretoria Computer Science. Professor Venter, please join us also. Don't hide there. Come, Professor. Okay, the funny sport. Okay. The capture the flag, the third prize goes to Akai Northwest University. Please, the mentor also. So the capture the flag, or the main competition in the cybersecurity challenge, is where the students have to solve problems in the cybersecurity fields, from reverse engineering, technography, the whole field, and maybe some interesting problems. And basically for 2.5 full days, they will have to basically solve these problems. And I think it really took a lot out of them this year. Is the mentor here? Yeah. I think that it was so quick with the announcement, I didn't actually thank the sponsor, but Em and Peter Chan, thank you very much for sponsoring the Capture the Flag third, second, and first prize. Thank you for the sponsor. Okay, second, the team who came second with Capture the Flag, Diamond Slayers University of Witwatersrand. Okay, and we're at the final prize for the cybersecurity challenge. And the winner of the cybersecurity channel is cash money, University of Pretoria Computer Science. Okay. And lastly, I would like to thank again our sponsors, BitM, Orange Cyber Defense, and actually the CSIR itself. And I would also really like to thank Dr. Louise Meyer, because she took over this for me from 5 years that I was running it, and basically took over all the organization, all the prizes, all the administration, testing the servers, testing the systems, and I think it was quite an amazing work. So please, a big hand to our sponsors and to Dr. Louise Meyer.
A big, big, big congratulations to all the winners. Can we give them a round of applause once more? All right, we are moving to the last challenge of the evening. I hope they are all ready. It's going to be a great one. All right, so can I ask you to please fix your eyes on the screen as we watch the video of the student cluster journey.
So the Student Cluster Competition is a high-performance computing challenge where students from all around the country build and design their own high-performance clusters. On these clusters, they'll then install their own operating systems, their software, their device drivers, and run a series of applications and benchmarks that are used in the industry. So some of these applications include the very same ones that are used to categorize and place the top 500 computers in the world.
High-performance computing is basically computing power, where it is able to perform complex calculations and process data at very high speeds. So you can think of it as multiple or thousands or close to millions of processors trying to achieve those tasks.
The advice that I can give the student who's going to participate for the next coming years for CHPC competition is that the student must be well able to make it as a team, and it must be open to learn more and do the preparation enough and do the research and networking, because CHPC is a bit challenging, but also it is a great experience for the student.
I'd say that the kind of main piece of advice that I could give to students is to just do preparation, because you are given the task you'll need to perform beforehand, like a couple months in advance. So if you use that to your advantage and kind of start preparing that very straight after the tutorial run pretty much, then by the time you get here, you'll be pretty comfortable with the benchmarks and setting everything up and running things. So it'll pretty much be a piece of cake just to get it to work on the day. There's always issues and you'll never kind of be able to solve all of them. But if you have preparation, it really gives you a leg up in actually solving the problems as they come up.
All I can say is teamwork makes the dream work. So work well with your team and grasp as much information as you can from the first round.
All right, talking about democracy in IT is a very vivid term right now, and I say this in light of what the pandemic has taught us. The pandemic has shown that there is a huge need on dependable cyber infrastructure, and in that case, I'm talking reliable and highly available. The SEC is challenging us to be able to build these types of clusters so that businesses that are moving remote can have these systems at a more cost-effective price point.
So given the type of problems that we have in the continent, especially in South Africa, we're having this energy problem and also having sustainable energy problem. So having access to this type of clusters, it can be able to have the youth step up into the plate of trying to solve the challenges that we have in South Africa. So ahead of the COP27, we had a discussion around the energy crisis at the University of the Witwatersrand. But these discussions are not enough. We need resources to be able to solve this type of problems. So that's why we have this type of clusters. So right now I'm currently running a benchmark called RAP. This is the type of benchmark that I can use to model where I can place solar panels so that it can receive the highest concentration of the sun. So me being able to use this type of model and benchmark to try to solve the problem that we're currently having in South Africa, nothing can beat that.
We have focused on doing more research based on the findings, based on the student cluster competition we went through in the first round, and gathering more reliable resources, and also asking assistance from our previous students in our academy.
So after the tutorial round, we prepared for the competition by trying to configure our own cluster using the servers that are available at VERTS. We managed to get through the networking, and so that it was easier so that when we get here. So that's what we did.
So what we're currently stuck on is we're trying to get one of our nodes to connect to the head node and the other node to connect to the internet through the head node. So we are kind of trying to configure that. Yeah, that's what we are currently working on right now.
We've learned a lot actually from this HPC cluster because always about machines that we just use for running application banks and stuff like that, but learning how that we can cluster them and run them remotely, stuff like that. It's really interesting.
I think that the CHPC gives us such a good opportunity to actually experience stuff that we wouldn't have a chance to before, because we get to play with clusters and material and hardware that we wouldn't ever get a chance to otherwise. That's why I think it's such a good opportunity for our country that we do have competitions like this, so that we can progress.
So we have studied a lot of things. We have studied coding. So when we got here, we're doing networking. So in networking, we've learned a lot. We have learned about pinging. We have learned about connecting clusters to our head node. So we have 3 servers that we're working on. We have the head node, we have the 2 compute nodes. So yeah, and our motto is that in teamwork, 1 is a drop and 2 or more is an ocean.
I've learned quite much in terms of the Linux environment, more than what we taught at university. So it taught me about Linux in depth and the type of things it is used for, even outside in most companies and stuff, and made me open my mind to a lot of careers I can go to and the stuff that I can actually pursue.
If we win, it's going to be a good thing because we'll be able to travel abroad, be able to meet with new people, compete with people internationally, and then we'll have to learn from experts, and that's a good thing.
no. Ha la la. Woo, the pressure's about to mount. I can feel it in the room. All right. And so I must say, let me confess, yesterday when I came to just once again get a sense of the energy, all I heard after all was said and done was 80,000 rand. The things I would do with that money today. But here we are. All right, to announce the winners of the student cluster competition, I'm going to ask that Professor Birali Runesha, who is the Assistant Vice President for Research Computing, as well as the Director of the Research Computing Center at the University of Chicago, to come and announce the winners. Now, just a high-level synopsis, which I'm sure he will double-click on. But my understanding is that this particular competition was open to undergraduate students across various universities in South Africa, namely Wits University, Tshwane University of Technology, the University of Limpopo, and Khulisa Academy. And the teams were basically encouraged to build small HPC clusters on the exhibition floor. And those hardwares were provided by CHPC and its partners. And in addition to that, the participants were required to compile and evaluate a number of HPC apps spanning across a multitude of fields. There's a lot of products and I suppose prizes that are in store for the third, second, and first place winners. There's also that 5,000 rand that is also up for grabs for the best male. 5,000, woo! Relax. I can see the one who's like 5,000 rands. It is 80,000 rands, which is equivalent to $5,000. Okay, to be safe, it's still 80,000 rands. And of course, Dell EMC, who is sponsoring a trip to Austin, Texas, as well as a trip to Hamburg in Germany. All right, the stakes are high. Yes. To be young.
Thank you very much for that kind introduction. And I would like again to thank Dr. Happy Sitole and all the members of the CHPC. I've been on the road actually for the past 3 weeks and I haven't been home. But when I knew that the CHPC conference was going to take place in person, I called my wife. I said, there's no way I was going to miss attending in person. So it's really a great pleasure for me to be here. And the highlight of this conference has always been to me the time I spend going around talking to the students during the cluster competition. And I think we heard the process that it takes. I mean, this you're talking about, they're giving 200,000 rands to design and configure a system. And they're given a short period of time and they have to order this. And then these are like 9 teams, each one of them. And then not only that, to run synthetic benchmarks and these application benchmarks. The reason I want to emphasize this, I've been doing high performance computing for the last 30 some years. And I have a team of 30 people that do this on a daily basis. And when I come and I imagine that we're asking these people to do this in less than a week, I said to myself, I mean, they are really actually genius. And in my eyes, I always say, when I stand here, in my eye, they are all winners. And I'm going to also start by just saying, let's just congratulate them all first. So there are also a couple other people that we also need to also recognize, because each team is really coupled with mentors. And then those mentors, they really work closely with them. Many of them, they've been also competitors in the past, and that they have just a little experience, but they dedicate their time to help transfer that knowledge. At least give also a round of applause to those mentors. So the process is really quite involved because we also have a team of judges. I think I wasn't just my colleague because Believe me, we spend more than close to 3 hours kind of debating and coming up with a decision. It's never been really an easy one because all of us, we believe they are really all strong, and it's really always tough for us when we have to narrow down to only a few. But I'm not gonna take too long. I know how I'm standing here between the announcements and the prizes. But what I'm gonna invite, we're gonna start with the third prize, the team that got the first prize. I'm gonna call upon Simon Ratcliffe from Solar Storage Solution, if he's around. Yeah, to help me. So the third prize, I'm gonna invite maybe to help with the because we have a big group of lineup. We're gonna basically ask the students when they come down to line up here, and then they'll receive their prizes. This third prize was sponsored by Solar Storage, and they'll be receiving a gift voucher worth 12,500 rands. And the third prize goes to Group 1 China. So I don't know if Petronella Malele, Itumeleng Makonyane, Perfect Tabitso, Lutendo Leonard Silingana, if they can join us here. Okay, the second prize has been sponsored by Eclipse Holdings, and I would like to invite Chris Lokoto. I apologize, I'm gonna be butchering a lot of names, so I apologize already. Thank you. And the second prize goes to Team Vince, Team 1 from the University. So for the prize, they will be receiving a laptop each. And I would like to invite Sahil Dinanak, Mosa Mabula, Naomi Muzamani, and Darshan Singh. So the first prize was sponsored by Dell Technologies. And I would like to invite Ryan Rothenbach. Again, we have to set up the background for the picture. All right, so are we ready to call and the first place goes to So for the prize, they'll be also receiving laptops, and then I would like to invite Lennox Baloi, Jonathan Fowler, Saifullah Jumoti, and Bongekile Mokakama. All right, before we announce the team that's gonna go to ISC, I thought since we've been also talking about the 80,000 run, maybe we should announce that first. So last, okay. You want to feed the team first? Okay. All right, so the way it works, usually when we want to constitute the team that's gonna go to IAC, this slide, yeah. So we're gonna still give the best male and female prize we recognize. And then I would like to, the prize is sponsored by Intel. And then I would like to invite Jean-Laurent Philippe to come and maybe to share his early impressions.
Thanks, Borali. This is my first time actually seeing how this is running. A year ago or a couple of years ago, Hannes called me and told me, hey, for ISC, we have the winning team and they need to go to Hamburg, or was it in Hamburg at that time, or maybe in Frankfurt? I think it was in Frankfurt. And I thought, oh, wow, okay, so we are going to help, etc. But then I didn't know how it was behind the scene. So yesterday, I spent a lot of time looking at what the teams were doing. And I thought, okay, well, I didn't know that they had to order hardware, put it together, logically connect them, install OS tools, stuff like that, and then run applications. I thought, oh my God, this is a lot more than what I thought. And then I saw how they were doing, and I thought, oh my God, yes, these people, they will know what a supercomputer is, because you can do that with plenty of stuff like laptops, but when you do it with real servers and you choose what you put in there, storage, processing capabilities, memory, how you do that, and then how you connect, then that's already a good good start. And then when you have to run applications, that's a lot more complicated. And when we looked at the results, we realized that some had gone a long way into this challenge and had done really good. So I'm very, very happy with all what I've seen. And I want to congratulate all of these people. They took the risk, they challenged themselves. I'm sure that they learned a lot. And I will be so happy to see that team in Hamburg next year. So great, superb. Thank you. And I'm so happy that we can sponsor that.
All right. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. And the big check is ready there. I think it's signed. And I was able to check it myself to make sure it's a legitimate one. So I can actually. So the best male, most deserving male student is Itumbelenge Mokanyane.
Don't flip her name. Yeah, wait a few seconds before you flip her name. Oh, you want to flip? You want to flip first, and then you flip her name a few seconds later. Okay.
All right. The second most deserving is for the female student. And actually this particular person, I was also very struck because when I was walking around and then I was standing in front of their group, and then the way she explained to me in simple words what they were doing, I was really quite impressed. I felt like maybe I was not really a good student back then. But again, I checked the check is all legitimate. And then without further ado, the best female student is Naomi. I have to say, we had at least among the judges in selecting these two people, an unanimous decision among all the judges for this one. And they give them another round of applause. So what I'm gonna do now is, like you said earlier, so usually once the competition is done, we constitute the team that's gonna go to compete in Germany. So the way that it works is the first team that won is automatically selected. And then what we add is to add 2 more people, because we have a team of 6 people that will go to IC. But we usually also add 2 additional people because we send them first for training. CHPC send them for training in Texas at TAC, and then they go 8 people. And then from those 8 people, if this is something happen, at least you have 2 alternatives. So what I will do is I will announce the additional member that are gonna constitute the team. But maybe what I will do is to invite first the team A, which was the first team to be the first core 4 members, if they can join us here, and then they'll be joined by the other members. So the 4 member that is basically Lennox, Jonathan, Saifullah, and Bongekile that are sorry for the typo. This is for IC23, so Hamburg. As you can see when you recycle slides, you know. May 21st. So the first core team is basically the 4 team from BITS that won. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna announce the first person who's gonna be reserved is Sahil Dinat from the University of BITS. The second person who has been selected to join as an alternative is Kamongelo Sitole from the University of Limpopo. I'm gonna announce the 2 people that are also gonna be part of the 6. The first one is Naomi Muzamani. And our last member of the team is Itumelenge Mokonyane. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure for me to introduce to you the IC 23 Student Cluster Competition Team. Lennox, Jonathan, Seiful, Bongekile, Naomi, Itumelenge, and the reserve Sahil and Kamogelo. Let's give them a round of applause. So this concludes, as I conclude the announcement, but I really want to take also an opportunity to thank the team of the ACE Lab at CSPC. You will not believe the amount of work this work starts, because it takes them months. It's really a full year preparation, and they really do an excellent job. And even the last week, I think they work as hard as the students themselves. And in particular, I want to really thank Nyameko and David, and those two have been really the pillars of this particular cluster competition. Let's give them a round of applause. So I also want to thank all my colleague judges. It's always really a great pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you again next year. And then hopefully this time we will do it in an hour or so. But let's give them a round of applause. And lastly, this prizes could not be possible. So without the sponsors, at least this has been really a tremendous support, in particular, even the hardware. I cannot imagine how this could be possible, but we really need to give a big round of applause to all the sponsors. On that, thank you again, and thank you, CSPC, and I look forward to next year.
You know, where I come from, when you see winds like that, we go, ah, re, 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 re. Hey, woo, woo. Ah, re, 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 re. I see you. That's how we express jubilation and celebration. Wow, what a beautiful night. What a beautiful night. Once again, a laudable congratulations to all the winners, all of you guys who participated, the mentors, the sponsors, the judges. Congratulations. And what I really want to say as well is for you to continue to be the human who is being productive, being curious, being vulnerable, being seen and being heard. That is the point of being a human being, is to continue to be the human who is being. All right, before we part ways, because we are at the end of our program for this evening, must it end so soon though? Just a few announcements before we leave. Dinner will be served at the Dec. And for those of you who are traveling tomorrow morning, we ask that you please check out and bring your luggage with you to the ICC. There are ladies at reception, Zandi and Zintle, who will tag your bags and secure them in the ICC VIP lounge. And from me to you, my parting words for you is, whatever you choose to do with your life, set out to do a good job. Do it so well that the living, the dead, and the unborn couldn't do it any better. And so thank you for having me tonight. Have a wonderful evening and enjoy the conference tomorrow. Good night.